What's going on, you guys? Welcome back. On Target Talks, episode 17. We're going to be talking spring offensive prep and event preparation in general. It's me, your boy Chuckles.
Des.
James.
Isaiah.
Special guest of honor.
Special guest today, Isaiah. So we got the squad going up today. So
on Monday.
Just a couple... So, just a quick announcement. Boom. Just wanted to let y'all know, if you hadn't heard or seen our Facebook or Instagram or our website, we're having a swap meet. It's going to be June 3rd. It's a Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. What that means is whether you're, in the sport and you have some extra stuff you need to get rid of, or even if you're getting out of the sport, or you know people that are getting out of the sport and just have a lot of stuff they need to sell, all you got to do is pay $5. You bring your own table, you set up, you can sell it free reign as long as you're 18 and older, or have a parent or guardian if you're doing gun sales. But you pretty much get a free spot, and it's in the spot where we did the expo, so there's no bad weather or really weird lighting. So it's definitely going to be nice, and it's $5 for 7 possible hours of you making money. You're going to sell a dump pouch, you're going to make that money back.
Right. Exactly.
So I believe the links are in the description below to our website and stuff. So
Yep.
Definitely check that out. We also have started doing YouTube stuff now. Other than this, we're doing
High quality product reviews, some other spotlights, maybe hopefully some tech tips at some point.
I just did one on the Elite Force Gen 2 UMP 45 by Aries. That's here on this channel. We just posted that on Saturday, so definitely check that out. I think it was very well put together. It's become a group effort, so now everyone's like,
Fire.
Let's do something. So it's definitely gonna be the mintiest thing coming out at you every Thursday. Gonna be fresh.
Nice.
Finna enjoy it.
Yep. And if you go just check our channel, our most recent videos, you'll see that it's a video posted just previous to this one.
Got another good one coming up next week too, or this week.
Yeah. So this Thursday, look for another video. We were a little late posting it this week, as you guys know, when I first tried doing something, it doesn't always go to plan, but in the future, Thursday at what, 3, 4 p.m.?
Thursday at about 3 or 4, it'll go up. So
Whenever they get done with it, it's the last minute. Just
planning for 3 or 4 on Thursday.
We'd like it to be done at that time.
But moving on to today's topic, obviously I know a lot of you guys out there going to Spring Offensive. I believe me and Isaiah are. Dan was too late to buy tickets, and James just sucks. However, I know a lot of you guys out there going to Spring Offensive, and we're all spending this week basically prepping. And there's obviously a lot to do and a lot of things to easily forget. I thought we'd talk about a little what we personally do to prep and things we suggest to average and any really airsofter to get ready for this event. We're going to go over, like I said, personal things as well as overall just plain good ideas. As always, what about you, Isaiah? What is something that you're doing to get ready? You're doing to get ready for this game?
Well, we compromised with a gear check for at least our team. So we go over that gear check at least a week in advance so that we can order anything if you need to. So I've been doing that today. I just recently bought all my water, food supplies, like any miscellaneous gear that I needed. And I have that all packed away now. So that's really it for individual. I guess we do a lot of planning for the team-wise. So we'll go over, this will be even weeks in advance. We get ready for an event within, I would say, in advance of a month or 2. So we'll do movements, and we'll go over the actual the op board just to make sure we all know what's going on and whatnot. So
nice. What about you, Dan?
All right. So I'm not going to this one, but usually when I'm on the team as well, so I'll always have my stuff set out, and then we'll go over the checklist, which is super helpful to have. Having a checklist.
No, that's a good idea.
We used to not. It was really old the first time I went. I don't really remember if I had a checklist or not. And I was just I have so much crap that I just don't need. So then you learn to kind of, over time, minimize. You can figure out how long an event is. You can kind of plan for it. I always buy, I usually buy a 24 pack of water and a gallon so that I can keep a gallon at CP for refilling my hydro, but then I'll always have water bottles on my person. Uncrustables are the best, okay? I've been having Uncrustables at events for years, but they're the best because they come frozen, so you go buy them, and then you can take them anywhere with you, and then they're defrosted, so whether it's like hot or it's cold, you can like eat them, just like you're like your
SpaghettiOs are the best. Canned SpaghettiOs are the best for your
PB&J, peanut butter, and strawberry jelly. The strawberry jelly is the ish, but then you just pop it open.
Beef jerky and plenty of water. That's
I usually also
beef jerky, Pop-Tarts with
stick
carbohydrates and sugars, and then water.
Anything really
We can
good for
get
hiking is kind of
SpaghettiOs.
what you want.
Yeah.
Or you can get SpaghettiOs.
I mostly do just like I'll do Cliff Bars. I
Yeah.
have Cliff Bars. I have jerky. Sometimes I'll have Uncrustables. If it's like a multiple days, like if it's just one day, I won't really pack necessarily a lot of food. More water than anything, and then like a small amount of like Powerade or Gatorade for electrolytes. Because if you're sweating a lot, you're gonna kind of want to replenish yourself. So like, don't be like, I'm just gonna down Gatorades forever. Like have like 1 or 2, like so that you're slowly drinking throughout the day, so that you don't die.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's always good to figure out everything ahead of time, because then you can figure out what you need to get. So then you're looking at your cart of $500 in e-bike, and you're just like, I need it. I can't.
$500,
You
that's
can't.
it.
I need
That's
it.
it. I don't need it.
And
That's
before I talk about my side of things, why don't you give your input, James?
So whenever I get ready for an event, basically gotten to the point where I already have everything. Kind of like I have like my little
Your to-go bag.
You have your gear.
everything's kind of like all set. So I just kind of charge my batteries. I make sure
Make sure
everything.
PDW didn't break again.
Yeah, make sure my PTW is actually going to behave itself. So I have to test every single mag, stop to finish. So I use about 1,000 BBs, just making sure that my gun works, just to test it. And I have to do that every single time. So it is a bit of a bitch, but I do that. And then in terms of food prep, I always will drink. Always make sure you're hydrating the night before. Drinking a lot of water the morning of. That's not how that works.
The week before.
Yeah. I mean, you should be drinking the whole week before.
Yeah.
But
of
like
course,
definitely hydrate.
Stay away from greasy, oily food.
Yeah,
and
you don't-
tons of milky food.
Yeah, you don't want to be farting your way, when the start gun goes off. But I'm a personal fan of these SpaghettiOs, the ones with the pull tops.
SpaghettiOs are the ish.
SpaghettiOs are the shit, and if you get the ones with the meatballs in them, they're perfect. You just pull that off, you scrunch it so that it kind of turns into an oval, and you just go.
You just
You just down a whole thing, and you're all set.
One thing I always like to suggest, and people always look at me when I have 7 heads when I do this, is bring salty foods.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because if you have enough water, which you should, you should have a hydration carrier. If you should be playing a game like this without a hydration carrier.
God,
no. Yeah.
Full stop.
We get dumb.
No, but if you have plenty of water, bringing salty foods just makes you drink a shitload of water.
Yeah, it forces you to drink more.
A lot of times, if you don't do that, and you're like, oh, I'm fine, I'm not going to drink water, I'm not thirsty, and the next thing you know, you're dehydrated.
Yeah.
You won't necessarily be thirsty before you're dehydrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Human body's weird. But one thing I do want to mention, because I see so many people come to these games unprepared in this fashion, is read the freaking op order.
Please. People are like, wait, so what is the... No!
My favorite is when you're on the field and they're like, what time does the game end? What time is this? What
It's
time
so
is that?
stupid.
It's like, you should know this. You should know all of this. Especially with this event, is both teams have planning groups live right now. I know Group 4 has a Facebook group. I'm not sure what KOFOR, you said KOFOR has a webpage,
We have
right?
a website. To be cool.
And how often do you go on that website?
Got
Rest my case.
him. But that resolves so many issues. That's something that we ran in. That's something that happened a lot at at Patriot 2 at the PCI. It took forever because so many people had stupid questions. They're like, so wait, how do grenades work? It's like in the op orders, it is highlighted how grenades work.
Yeah.
They didn't even know the medic rule. I was like, what?
They didn't understand medic rule. Or it's like all of these things are outlined. The grenade rule was highlighted. They're like, so wait, how do grenades work? And they're like, no thunder bees. The only thing that count are actual explosive grenades. And it was like, I just couldn't get
Right, it
people
was
didn't
literally
understand.
highlighted. in
It
the
literally took too long to go over all this basic information that people should already know going into the game. There wasn't a lot of change from previous
Right,
events.
and this isn't just a run and gun. Like this
Yeah.
this is an event that is months in the planning.
You're spending a lot of money on the event too, so why not have a smidge of a clue of what's going on?
Exactly. No, trust me, that is just like anyone else will tell you. That is the most frustrating thing to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And one thing I do want to say also is when you're prepping for an event, mentally learn how to pace yourself. I see a lot of people at StartX. They're literally sprinting from spawn at 110%.
But great, you still have what 20 more hours of
Like, right? Exactly. Don't wipe yourself out.
You're gonna be at that level for 20 hours, bro?
Right? Good luck. And it's better off if you come back to spawn, take a 5-minute breather, go back out. That's better than going, all right, I'm going to go, and then you take a 3-hour breather at the end of the game when it matters.
Yeah.
Is pace yourselves, for God's sakes. It's especially for those of you who are watching who have read the op order. It's obviously, and this isn't giving anything away from you. There's the way StartX is for this game is very interesting. It's something different, where it's not an all-out gunfight at StartX. There's like safe zones and no fire zones and hot zones, and I'm very curious to see how that's going to turn out.
Yeah. Like no gun, like guns have to be on the slings, mags out and stuff. So.
Yeah, so that is what,
interesting.
east of TIG, I believe, is like that.
I think the city,
west of TIG, and the city have guns out.
Yeah.
And then
That's
east
crazy.
of TIG is hot zone. I
That's
believe.
really interesting.
So I want to make sure I'm not saying anything that's Group 4 only. And similarly, you don't want to say anything that's Group 4 only. But either way, it's a very interesting. And what I'm hoping to see happen, I'm sure this is part of Cobalt's intentions with this, is that I want to see both teams form these freaking firing lines. And then at game start, just like, whoppa! Rather than everybody, because you know most games because the spawns for this game are either side of town.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
The OG spawns.
which is great, which I think it's so bittersweet. Because what's nice about it is that people don't feel like it's exhausted. Like, it's not like a 2-mile walk to fucking spawn.
Yeah.
And you've dealt with it, I've dealt with it. And it just demotivates. It demotivates the whole team.
You have to climb up a whole hill. Just you're like, crap.
Now, personally,
it's 90.
I'm not gonna lie. Personally, I prefer the far spawn. Because you're like, okay, I'm here, and I can go anywhere in the field
That's
I
true.
want.
You have a lot of options to kind of split up.
Whereas near field, it's like, okay, I can go this direction.
Or
otherwise,
let's go through town.
Right, exactly. So I personally prefer the far spawn, but I do realize it just demotivates the whole team. Having the spawns next to the parking lot's nice too, because when you're like, oh shit, my gun went down, your squad can jump out in the parking lot quick, fix it, get back in the game.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of times that happened during Autumn Justice is like a group force squad to be like, oh, 2 of our guys' guns went down. We're gonna hop in the parking lot real quick to fix them, and then they disappear. Because what happened is they got to the parking lot and they all went, oh fuck, we're tired. And then they're like, oh, we're tired, and it's a half-hour walk to spawn. Not a half hour, I know I'm exaggerating, but it's a 15-minute walk to spawn before you even get to play. So I understand why the spawns where they are is awesome. But the issue being is in past years, it becomes this 200-acre field, the battle is fought in town.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I think having that neutral territory in the middle, though, will kind of cause...
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. That's why I really like this idea, because it'll push the players all the way to the valley, as they call it, because they have to. And hopefully, once the players get spread out, they'll kind of stay spread out.
That's really interesting.
I gotcha.
So I understand his motivations, and I think it's a really good way to go about it.
Shake it up.
I'm just very curious how it's going to go. I bet the ceasefire is going to last like 7 minutes into the game.
The penalty's pretty high.
Oh, the penalty is if your team is responsible for breaking the ceasefire, you can't score points that day.
What? Well, nothing.
Yeah. So
that's a lot of incentive to not do. Oh my god.
But something tells me it's going to last. It's good. You know who's going to break it? Someone who didn't read the fucking op order.
Yeah, it's gonna be. That's a big.
They're gonna go. It's 10. Woo!
Oh god, that'd be so.
That would be really. That's probably.
That'd be hilarious.
No, it's gonna happen.
It's gotta.
This kid's gonna get like beat up in the middle of the field. Like, what are you thinking?
Like they're literally gonna have to go home. They're like, you're gonna sit in CP all day and you're gonna like it. Oh my god, that'd be. Oh my god. I feel bad for that poor soul that didn't.
I don't.
Face the wrath forever. They never come back to a stag. They never just forbidden. Like, no.
But yeah, like I said,
Dragged up by his leg.
I can't wait to see how it goes. I think
That
it's such
sounds
a really cool way to
Can't
start
wait
a
to hear
game.
about it.
Now there is something I want your opinion on, Isaiah. I don't know if you've read the op order at all, or you, James, but the new way they're doing point capture with cell phone pictures.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that where you have to go to the sheet, you have to sign
Well,
it, time clock
So
it.
the issue is last year a whole bunch of sheets went missing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I don't know if it was done intentionally or if it was done accidentally.
Yeah,
My ears are
stuff
still
just
ringing.
falls over.
But
Make it some real ear pro, bro.
apparently. But yeah, I just don't like the idea of having to bring my cell phone on the field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was.
And my other concern is I know people. They're going to be, oh, let me take a picture of this and email it. Oh, look, I have a Facebook notification. That's like, I don't know.
That's a potential to pull them out of the.
sent me,
That's
guys. Picture.
Yeah, right?
It has the potential to pull you out of the event.
It's right, and it's totally like, I feel like it kind of ruins the immersion aspect of it all.
Yeah, like me, like I know we like don't allow people to have
You're
phones
not
on the
on our
field
team.
unless it's someone like me who
Well,
would
you
be
want, like,
on
one
the
person
social
for
media or
emergency
something. Exactly,
contact,
emergency
that's
or for
about it.
like social media stuff, like hey, we out here, fam,
Right,
kind of
right.
thing. But like other than that,
Check out my current
it pulls
location.
you out.
Yeah.
Like,
It's okay.
Me? What?
and then it's also getting. I don't know how the service is out there, but then
Well,
you
so
gotta
what
decide
he's
that.
doing is, when you take a picture, it has a timestamp on it.
Right.
So they're using the timestamps to really tell. And that, I mean, I understand it
Legitimizing.
It makes it more accurate on when locations were taken.
Right.
And what's another thing Cobalt changed, which I like, is that it's no longer snapshots. Is you have to control a base for a continuous hour to score
Right
points
now,
on it.
yeah.
If it goes back and forth, no one's scoring points.
That's good.
Which I really like that. As I mentioned in previous podcasts, it keeps the kind of gaming the system side of things out of it. So I understand why he did it, and I understand why it's a necessity, but I still don't like it.
I'm not
I
sure.
wish there was a better solution.
I don't know.
Also, I could totally just put my phone in airplane mode, change the time, and take a picture.
That's true.
That's exactly.
I mean, not to be a jerk here, but
Yeah.
Don't get any
It's a
ideas,
fact.
everybody.
So
That's lame.
people that are going to cheat are going to cheat.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
like that is a good
You
point.
can't
Like,
stop
if you're
it.
gonna cheat, you're gonna look at the op order and pick apart the obvious holes in it.
Yeah.
And it's
So
kind
I-
of like how a lock will keep an honest person honest.
Exactly.
It's
So I don't know if I have a better solution to suggest
Yeah.
without having
Because
8,000
you
reps.
have to email it too, right? You have
Yeah,
a
you have
specific.
to email it to him,
Yeah.
which I just feel like someone's going to be like, oh, let me email this. I don't have a screen anymore. I
Yeah, right.
absolutely see that
Yeah,
happening.
someone's phone's gonna I don't know. I wouldn't want to really take my phone out on the field, anyways. For the most part,
Or
it could get shot. I mean, there are plenty of places to hide a phone,
But still.
it could get shot.
Or when it's the middle of the night and you stealthily take an objective and you're like, okay.
And you're gonna
And you click on your screen.
It's like,
Yeah, especially anyone with
That's
night
gonna be
vision, you could be 200 feet away and just be like, what the fuck is that?
but then at the night you're gonna have to
That's
take
pretty funny.
photos of the flash. You won't be able to see them.
You have to
Right.
do
Yeah, that
the
flash
World
going off at night, that'd be game over.
You gotta do the
So-
World War II thing where you put a jacket
Yeah,
to you.
and then flip over it and
Exactly.
take a picture.
Exactly. That's what
With
you
my-
gotta do.
with my capturing objective for it. Password.
And all of us have freaking fingerprint scanners that wear gloves when we
Yeah,
play.
we're just gonna be
It's gonna be a nightmare.
So that's another thing I'm very curious to see how it goes over this year.
True.
But alas, I'm sure it will still work out well. But continuing back to our top subject of preparing for an event. One of the things I like to do is, most people, or I'm sure you've seen me do it a few times, is I come in the week of the event
Okay, we're good.
and chrono my gun, make sure it's chronoing well, do an accuracy test. So usually I'll clean the barrel,
Yeah.
redo my accuracy mods that I've mentioned to you guys in the past. That goes obvious to a gun check,
Yeah.
but a big thing is that I see people forgetting. Make sure you have the little things like red rags, I've forgotten frequently.
Yeah.
Red chem lights, are forgotten frequently.
Yep.
Do you have any of those in stock? Speaking of which, I need to buy one.
You have the little
I don't
S
have
light.
Yeah,
Headlights,
we
we
have
have
like
the
little
FMA
S
ones.
lights.
I want
Yeah,
me to buy one after this.
buy one of those after this.
Don't let me forget to buy one.
Good job, James.
Because you're an asshole.
Jesse
And
hit me with that one today, so I had to hit someone else with that.
water. I usually bring a couple gallons of water.
Yeah.
What about you
Major
guys?
key.
Like that's
I'll usually like honestly I'll buy like even when we went to Patriot too, I bought 2 gallons and a 24 pack,
Right.
like because you never know if somebody else is gonna be a dingus in freaking water. But at least if I have 2 gallons, like I can fill up things. But
You
I
give
definitely
other people,
like
yeah.
personally like I carry 1 or 2 water bottles like in my backpack on my person, so that when I get back to CP, I can just grab one, drink it, and I can just do that when I'm on the field and I'm dead. Or I have the opportunity to, then I just use my hydro,
yeah.
my bladder, which is
How much?
so convenient.
What size bladder do you have? Like I bring a 3 liter personally.
3 liter.
Yeah. What about you, Isaiah?
I usually either bring a Nalgene bottle, cause like, for the
Not
most
run
part,
hydration carrier.
no.
What?
doesn't
Whenever
run
I
hydro.
use them,
He doesn't run
whenever
hydro.
whenever I use them, the issue arises where I just constantly rip them because they're just not strong enough usually for me.
Don't buy Airsoft brand.
What do you do? Just like rah!
It's like waters now.
I don't.
Hit trees with it.
Also buy a Condor one.
Yeah, Condor ones are nice.
They're solid.
You can get them on Amazon for like $20
Right.
for a good.
We're just gonna rip on you for not having
Yeah,
hydro
I'm
right
okay
now.
with that.
This is fine.
I suggest bringing hydro to a carrier. It's
As long as you have, it's definitely worth it. But no matter what you do, always carry water on you.
Yeah.
I just always get as much water, even if like water doesn't go bad. So even if you buy too much, you're gonna be able to use it for like the next event or like going to school or something. It's like,
Yeah,
oh man,
car
I need
water.
a bottle of water.
Yeah,
What?
car water.
What's wrong with car water?
Yeah, dude,
Exactly.
you
Car
have
water's
it
the
right
best
there.
water.
You go accidentally racing with it and it leaks all over your trunk.
Oh really?
Whoops. Because whoop-ah, whoop-ah.
Makes that same noise too. Wah, wah.
Sure.
But water is absolutely important. Pack more than you need for water because you're never. I mean, a 2-day event can really wipe you the hell out if
Yeah.
you don't have enough. You'll pass out. Stuff will happen.
Also, something big is ways to clean your lens cleaner and anti-fog for your goggles. That's often forgotten, especially like weather right now where it's been raining for like a month and a half
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah.
Is when it's going to be suddenly warm after raining
it's
for so
gross
long.
and humid.
Everyone's going to fog to high heavens, and I'm going to be sitting
Yeah.
with my i4s going, "Wah, ha, ha, ha."
Yeah.
I don't have foggy issues. So.
What do you run?
The Oakley M-frame Alphas.
Are they full seal?
They're
M
full seal.
frames.
Are they
They're not like
actually-
those though. They have a little bit more space between them and the Hilo kit, so it allows more air to come through.
Okay, fair enough. See, I'm always uncomfortable with the idea that some pellet's gonna like bounce off a lens into my eye.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, might
I got-
happen.
yeah.
Let's see. One day, some kid will get a
I
lucky
like
shot.
I run the. What was I running? I used to run just like I had some crappy like Lancer tag goggles. I ran them for like 3 years, and the things would fog up, but I took out all the foam, so I just and they'd be done. Now I run the Vulcan Zulus, which are really nice. If I keep moving, then I don't really run into fogging issues. But like the last time I used them was at Patriot, so like being like. It's cold and I'm breathing a lot and I'm hot and I'm putting out a lot of
I
heat.
love
So
the
it's just
number.
like,
I love the number of people that I walked by that looked like they just had pieces of paper in front of them. Literally, I just walked by with just
You
laughing,
see
like,
so many people that that's all you can see is you're like, I can't even see your eyes anymore. What happened, man?
Where did you go?
So it's like, they're like, Dad,
Right.
Dad.
Um,
But it costs to clean that up quick on the
Echolocation
field.
Airsoft. Probably one of the coolest things I've seen, for those of you who have single pane lens goggles, is you take a microfiber cloth and you take 2 fairly powerful magnets and you stick one on the inside lens and you put the microfiber cloth underneath it and then have the other magnet just sitting in the corner of your lens and you just go,
What?
It's like a little like wiper
What?
cleaner.
yeah. It's like, it's so smart.
That sounds.
It costs 7 cents to make.
Yeah.
And you just wipe off the inside of your goggles with this little microfiber cloth.
You're changing my world right now, dog. I'm thinking now. I'm thinking if I get.
Let's just start making those and selling them to people.
Nothing really.
Just responding to it.
Yeah, just responding to
Aggressively
the normal banter.
Fair enough.
That's cool. Never heard of that before.
I've seen it before, yeah.
So, changing subject slightly.
Dang.
I know I'm bringing a few smokes with me, and you guys know why. What are you guys bringing in terms of grenades, explosives, smoke grenades, Nerf rockets, anti-vehicle? What kind of stuff are you bringing?
I'm just a rifleman. Or I run. Actually, I switch
What about
between
your squad?
rifleman
Do
and
any of
assault.
them run AT?
Yeah, I think Dylan's running.
We have 2 rockets right now. Maddie, our saw gunner, he's got one that's going to be attached to his bag if we need to deploy that. And then Dylan, who's the actual grenadier, he's going to have 2 tag-in launchers, and then I think we're carrying like 20 of the tag-in pecker grenades.
Yeah, he has those peckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pricey.
They dropped a whole bunch of money on it, but it's a team thing.
But it's a nice setup, though. It's nice. Those
We've
I
had
shot
issues. We've had issues with other grenades just like not going off to kill vehicles and whatnot.
Other ones.
So that's obnoxious.
Like standard like airsoft grenades, you're like, okay, even like the short ones or the long ones, those ones like are finicky, but I don't know, like I shot the they have the we have the tag in the CO2 shells, so you fill that up, you put it in, and I shot it for a customer, and it just went, it could have gone forever, but it went flying. It slammed against the stretching out. It hit the ceiling, it broke. I taped it up, I put it back in, I recharged it. But like I shot it, and it swerved
on this shoulder or this shoulder.
And it swerved, but it hit a building with so much force
Best pickup line ever.
it flattened the top.
Remember
but,
that
like,
one.
Those things have some good stuff. I mean, they're not made of the best material, but like, because they're kind of like a hard.
But it keeps the price down on them.
It does.
I mean, they're not meant to be multi-shot.
Yeah.
They're meant to be, you shoot it, you buy another one.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's actually
Those things are cool.
No,
you
they're
get
badass.
stuff.
They're badass as hell.
Those are fresh.
But you know what's cooler is an HPA grenade launcher. So those of you who see me at the op will probably see this, given Cobalt, if Cobalt lets me use it. It's my one concern at the moment.
Nah, you can just adjust the pressure.
Yeah, right. Well, I can't because it runs my gun too. I have to adjust the expansion chamber.
Do a regulator, bro.
I'm not gonna have a second regulator for a freaking HPA grenade launcher.
Sure.
But in short, it fires 120 gram Enola Gay burst grenade about 300 feet. So that'll be fun for smoking out Kofar from afar.
Or you could just have a really strong arm, like I used to be able to throw smoke grenades clean over that mountain.
We need to get Steven back in here with his baseball throwing arm.
And then it's just gonna hear boom and be like, oh, Tessa's over there.
I just hope I don't get nailed in the face.
That's
what I said. You can launch at 400 yards, or you can kill someone with a smoke grenade.
Catch one in the teeth real quick.
Yeah, I'll just have to make sure not to hit vehicles with that. That would be mean. It's like purple.
It's like boom. Dent in the car. It's purple.
Oh god. But what about you personally? Are you taking any smoke grenades or R2Bs, anything like that?
Usually, if I go to like spring offensive or autumn justice, I'll grab like 1 or 2 smoke grenades. I never spend the money. I never really had like extra money to be like, oh, R2Bs, boom. Just because every time you throw them, it's like $15 a year. It's like $15 poor. Where's that $15 going? Boom. But
nice
I usually do fine with like.
Nice.
I'm better with just using my rifle, and like I'll have like 2 smokes, so I can be like, hey, here you go. And
I mean, smokes are better for like CQB environments, which is going to be limited.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, not smokes. R2Bs.
R2Bs, which is super limited. Like if it was something like if I was going back to Patriot and I had the funds.
Oh god. Patriot, there had to be
Patriot.
There had to be thousands of dollars.
It was R2Bs, AP grenades. For those, I'd rather run like the Enola Gay AP grenades because they're like $7 or $8. But
the R2Bs
since MSA, the R2Bs are the best.
The R2Bs are flashbang and a sound grenade
They're loud
and a P
and
grenade.
they shoot
satisfying.
everything. They're awesome. But the only issue is that then they do the spirit of grenade rule,
but MSATO. So if you have an Enola Gay P grenade, that counts as an explosive. So you're just like boom. So then you're only throwing $8, and anyone within a 10-foot radius is dead.
Yeah.
But R2Bs are very satisfactory.
Fire.
I think it was Trevor. Like I saw him. We did an employee night here, so I pulled it and I tossed it right in the open, actually, in between a couple of buildings, and I hit Trevor and Dean like boom, and Dean So those things are hardcore, but. If I was going back, I'd probably grab 1 or 2 of those because the R2Bs are just too cool. You always need them. You never knew how much you needed them.
Oh yeah. But for the outdoor games like that, you like a couple smoke grenades.
Outdoor games, I'd have smoke grenades, but that's really it.
What about you?
We've never usually used smoke grenades as far as our team's concerned.
No, that was a bad burp. Oh.
We don't usually use smoke grenades. I mean, depending on the season and whatnot and what's going on with the
with the weather.
like the weather. Well, the plant life too. As long as it's not too dry, so that everything you don't have to worry about stuff catching on fire or whatever. But I know I bought 6 R2Bs for Patriot, and I had 1 left at the end. So I'm bringing. That's the only one I'm bringing. But
okay, that's fair. That's fair. I like to bring even if I didn't have the launcher, I like to bring 3 or 4 smoke grenades with me. I like to bring green smokes.
What's up, Fry?
Fry! Fry!
Hopefully we'll see you there.
Actually,
like
Jim, APOC, he says he wants to try out that smoke grenade launcher of yours.
Oh, you're more than welcome to.
We
I'm going to
tested
be
it
showing
today.
this off so hard.
We tested it today before we went shooting, and it's pretty insane.
Too. It's great.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Huge.
But I personally like to bring 3 or 4 smokes. And this is just me, I like the green smokes. Because my thought process is I'm wearing green camo. If it's like a purple smoke, you can be like, oh, there's a green object moving through the smoke. I'm going to shoot at it.
that's fair.
Whereas a green object, green smoke, it's harder to differentiate. And I use them mostly since we're in tiny little 3-man recon teams.
Yeah. So
I like them as okay, time to bug out, and you toss a smoke grenade, and you dip sometimes I just dip 100 feet back, let them walk through the smoke, and be like, all right.
That's fair.
Or I'll use it just to say if I have last year we were running a Frago, and we had an entire platoon of tan coming up on the trail behind us, and I forgot to what? Sorry,
Are you not plugged in, bruh?
my computer was almost dead. That would have not ended well.
Is it in now?
It isn't now.
Is it in?
I
don't know.
And we had an entire platoon of tan coming up behind us, and we needed to dip down this trail, and we were like, all right, we just tossed 4 smokes in the trail, and then just ran our asses down the trail. We had 2 minutes to finish this Frago.
Damn.
But it got
Purple and green smokes, I always recommend those because
purple's so thick.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
That's
so
what I'm
thick.
saying.
It's crazy.
It's like the purple
THICC.
thick.
Thick.
That's what I always recommend though. When people are like, "Oh, what's the best for the best cover?" And I'm gonna say it's purple. It just has the densest color, so then you can cover up anything. And then I say green, orange, yellow, and then white.
Yeah.
You can see it.
White is so useless.
White, I'm just
I'm sorry, but it's see, if I were you guys, I would use yellow. Same reasoning, tan, yellow, similar colors. It's gonna be hard to differentiate between a smoke and a tan person in tan camouflage. Especially when you have the tan mixed with the green, it's gonna be real hard to see somebody behind it.
Yeah. So
My personal preference, but to each their own. The purple's definitely thicker.
purple is yeah, it's awesome.
So it really depends what you need to use it for. There's a TCC someone coming through a purple smoke grenade. 'Cause I don't know about you, I don't wear purple camo.
Yeah.
But
I want to rock purple camo.
yeah, right. One of those civilian type games.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
roll
I think there
up
was
something
one last
stupid.
year. It was purple or something.
Yeah, they were the Zygonians.
Zygonians.
Yep.
The Zygonians were they
Yeah,
wore
you're
purple.
right. So
Hater.
does remind me, speaking of camouflage, something I know you guys going to Spring Offensive are going to forget. Bring the most dankest bug spray you can.
I was like,
you're gonna be like, when you smell that shit. It's gonna be some dang shit.
But for real, because
Bro, where'd you get this? Walmart? Yo, I got mine from Dick's.
I know a guy.
Yo!
I know a guy. I got a guy.
But for real, is the ticks this year are crazy bad. I think there was some guy in Cape Cod that was hospitalized because of some Lyme disease strain that he got. So
Lyme disease is
yeah, wear bug spray take a bath in it or something
Hello.
because
Dead ass.
it's got like D100 here.
Dead ass B.
I got bit by a tick once. I got the Lyme disease.
Story,
It
bro.
was pretty bad. I got bit by a tick once. That's my story. We're done here. It was bad. It went immediately to my leg, so I walked until like one day, my leg gave out and I completely collapsed. I was like, all right, I should probably.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go do something about this now.
Then he had to wear an eye patch for a while because
What?
half his face went numb because of Lyme disease. He was
like Peter
fucking
Griffin.
pirate.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. The burgers.
It was pretty bad. I felt bad. I don't feel bad for Vinny very often. I felt bad.
Usually it's a lot of just self-induced stupid pain.
I mean,
just
to be
like
fair, it was self-induced, but nonetheless.
some things.
Um,
So that's definitely important. We always have bug spray and always like freshen up every so often.
yeah.
I say with the bug spray, that's what I always do. I'm like, we're fresh. I'm gonna
Bug
give
It's
you
like
a-
unfreshen up, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's
The
like
only thing that
not
sucks
fresh.
about bug spray is I feel like a fucking girl saying this, it like clogs your pores.
It feels. I don't know.
But
It
you
just leaves a gross feeling.
Oh my god, I feel the same way.
You don't sweat as well. You don't cool off as well, I
Yeah.
find, when
Yeah.
you're using bug spray. You tend to overheat faster.
Yeah.
In my personal experience, maybe that's just me. I'm
I don't
a
know.
skinny
I don't
guy.
like. I don't really like wearing bug spray. Like putting it on anything. I'm just like, God. I just feel like.
Gross.
You could just,
I
like,
know
rub
I
yourself
can't
in
really
dirt.
feel it,
But then
but
again,
I know I feel gross.
Then again, Lyme disease feels worse.
Lyme disease does feel worse, guaranteed.
Dude, I had
My
Lyme
left
disease.
leg still does not work great.
I had Lyme disease when one of the hurricanes came by. I was
Damn.
asleep like most of the time, but it was
Damn.
crazy.
I remember
I'm
when
so
I got
tired.
Lyme, I got Battlefield 3 came out the day that I stayed home for Lyme disease, so I was like, this is the
okay.
tightest. Anyways, but
But I would suggest also between like Saturday night, Sunday morning, do a bug check. Do a bug check
Yes.
after Sunday night as well. But the big thing is definitely after Saturday night. Once you do that night gaming, and you're going through thicker brush and shit like that.
Yeah, you
you're
can't
gonna
see that
if you
well.
don't have a tick on you, you probably didn't look hard enough.
Ugh.
Like it's gonna be that level. Also, Saturday night hunting, I really suggest, and personally something I've started doing the last few years that's made a big difference, is okay. Some people
Wear an
are-
eye patch.
Well, no. Yeah, but for real, that's no.
The pirates.
Is
That's what
what you should do is eat a fantastic meal set. And some people are all about the immersion, like I want to camp out because war. No, go to a restaurant and get a really good meal. Wake up in the morning, get like a breakfast and caffeine, and you'll be able to go through Sunday in a much better mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Half the people I see camp out halfway through Sunday are like, oh, I'm going home. I'm just done. I'm exhausted. I'm spent. And I'm sitting there like, what are you talking about? I got like 12 more hours of gameplay in me. Like, what?
Yeah, I always feel like I just have. I mean, maybe it's because I'm young and capable, but I'm always like, really, like.
Right?
I hate
Let's-
people that
let's
quit
go.
mid-game.
But no,
Worst
like,
thing.
but yeah, but you guys usually go out with a 2-day game. So you guys usually go out to eat, don't you? Don't usually get like a real meal between.
I try
it
to
seems like-
sometimes.
Excel
Squad gotta eat!
We'll run down to the Dunkin' Donuts,
Yeah, fair enough.
and they'll grab like muffins. Like basically what he's trying to say is don't eat like dirt or grass for
And,
breakfast.
don't be like, oh, I need to eat an MRE because this is
Yeah, 'cause
this
this
is
is
what it's
built-in.
about. It's built in, yada yada yada.
It's like eat an actual meal because
There's a-
you'll
there's-
feel better in general, like because you're just like the thought process too. You're just like, just had a nice meal. I don't totally feel
Like
like
I'm ready
crap.
to go.
Yeah, like you're
exactly,
ready. Like
exactly.
then in the morning you're gonna wake up. You're like where you're gonna be like I have energy for the day.
Well, there's also the
XL
fact-
Squad gotta eat.
there's also
XL
the
Squad's
fact
huge.
This is the only
God.
caffeine I drink, plain and simple, and it's so I don't fall asleep during this cast. Which means when I
Same.
have like a nice coffee before Sunday, I feel so.
Yeah,
good
there's a
going
picture
through
of me
that day.
drinking an iced coffee on like I think Sunday morning. I think we had that up.
Yeah,
on the
that's
Facebook.
what when I put up the Facebook post. I did the teaser. The photo is Isaiah in the corner sipping on the coffee with the medical card in his hand. He's like, I just thought that was
Probably the most disappointing thing, this is just a slight side story. Autumn Justice, me and Jake went to Dunkin' Donuts. I got my nice hot vanilla chai that I love. And I put it in his cup holder because Dunkin' Donuts likes to make their chai at the temperature of the center of the sun. So it takes a little while to be drinkable. But so I put it in the cup holder. I'm like, all right, I'll get ready and then I'll drink it before we head out in the field. Got distracted, headed out in the field. I'm sitting all day like, I'm feeling a little tired, and it's weird. I had my chai this morning. Completely forgetting I never drank it. So the game ends. We get back in his car, and I sit in the passenger seat, and I look over the chai still sitting there. I was really like, aww. What a waste.
Damn.
Chai abuse.
The first Autumn Justice night. The first Autumn Justice that I went to, that Saturday night, we were like, Saturday? So it was Saturday or, yeah, because we were all camered out. Me, my boy Joe, and I think it was Scott. We went to, we tried to drive to McDonald's. We were like, can we have 45 cheeseburgers?
What the fuck?
They like just had a prom that night, so the restaurant was swamped. They were like, yeah, that's gonna take like an hour. I was like, an hour?
Okay, wait. We need to step back a second. Did you go to your prom and say, we're gonna go out for BK after?
It's like,
because I'm sorry.
This is what we'll do. We'll go get...
James has that look like he absolutely did that.
Yeah, I think we went to Denny's, but that's,
we did. We did.
No issue with
Denny's
that.
IHOP is cool. Okay, but like McDonald's, like after prom, like I kind of Taco Bell.
I'm a much better fan of like, I'm dressed up nice. Let's go to a nice restaurant. Am I weird for thinking that?
Or at least let's go someplace that isn't like
whatever. Maybe that's just
cheaper
me.
than ugh.
Continue now.
So we were just like there. They were like, yeah, this is gonna take an hour. I mean, we said 20 cheeseburgers. Because not everyone had thrown out. We were like, oh yeah, can we have 20 cheeseburgers? Oh, that's going to take 45 minutes. We were like, 45 minutes? Why is it going to take 45 minutes? Like, oh yeah, we just had the prom and we're pretty much closed. But I was like, we were like, screw this, we're going. And we just went back to camp. And now it's awesome because on the team, Scott always brings his grill. So then Scott's always cooking burgers and hot dogs every night. So then it's just chef.
One of you is going to eat like an undercooked burger and just be shitting all Sunday.
Yeah,
let's hope not. There was Giuseppe's mom came in clutch. She brought so much food last time. Like there's literally people just like bringing home some of the food that she brought like after the second day.
She's crazy. She puts it like. She was like, "Oh, do you want to?"
She's like, "Do you guys eat this?"
It was St. Joseph's Day, so she was just, "Oh, do you want some Zeppelins?"
Want
like, yeah, sure. I got like 2 massive containers of them. That's when the night my car broke down. Yeah. So I sit in the back of the cop car as he was driving me home. He was like, "Do you want some?" He's like, "No, I already ate things." So like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this stuff. But that's way off track. And now, so definitely packing food and food that you like. Don't just be like, "Oh, I know that this is. Everyone does MREs, so I guess I might as well get this chicken fajita MRE," and then your asshole pays for it later when you're just like, "Oh, the spicy food." It's like, ah!
Yeah, I would advise against spicy food.
No spicy.
Salty, yes. Spicy, no. But speaking of like you're all kitted out and all that kind of stuff. What kind of camouflage I know you're not going, but what would you run if you did?
Actually, that's a conversation I'm having on the YouTube live chat.
So why did you bring this shit up?
What campus? What?
Well, because I don't know. We're just talking. Like, someone asked if it would be a good idea to run a night parka.
If you want to look like a scrub.
Exactly, and I said no.
People did that at Patreon. I was watching them. I was just like,
you get a lot of hate if you wear that because it's associated with GMR. And there's also kids who want to copy GMR, so you'll be netted into those copycat GMR loadouts, and they get so much hate. So if you don't want to be hated, then don't wear that camo.
I don't know, like a night parka, I don't feel like that's like, yeah, like wherever you want. I don't know if that's like, I don't know, I want to wear a combat.
James hates on people and just assumes everyone else does.
If I go, I don't want to really wear like a jacket like that.
Like, I mean, everyone gets the hate. I don't even look close to GMR, and I got GMR hate because I have the pig elastic cummerbund, and I have that, and I have the balaclava that goes over my face, and someone called me GMR. They're like, nice GMR loadout, and I'm like, well, pretty sure you're the dead one, so like, what I'm wearing is irrelevant because you're dead. But let's see. Another one that was brought up was the solid color argument, because they're going back and forth in the comments.
Yeah, I'm all about that, actually.
So someone pointed out that it's a bad idea because it's a solid color and you look like a blob. But I say that while it is a downside, it's offset by the fact that there is zero chance you'll get friendly fired wearing solid tan or solid green.
Yeah, but you'll also look like a clown if you're wearing like a tan flight suit. You're just like, oh, I'm here to play. And they're like, screw them.
Like what I usually do is I'll literally wear this shirt and ATAC pants. And it's lightweight, it's clean. And I don't know, I find like the
found a
camo
quarter.
t-shirts kind of silly because I'm white as fuck. So like, what's this gonna do when my arms are showing?
Yeah,
you know?
true.
And then I have an ATAX jacket if I get
Yeah.
cold.
Like me personally, I like running a combat shirt just because I'm big, so I sweat a lot, and I just need that. I need that in my life, so I'll wear a combat shirt, and then if it's like at Patriot where it was pretty freaking cold, I had like a long john shirt underneath, and that kept me plenty warm. But I mean, for camo we run the AOR1, the Desert Digi, but AOR1.
Right.
So I'd rock that. I mean, I kind of my belief is that I feel like tan as a camouflage works better in a forest environment because it is more of a subdued color. Like tans and browns are more subdued. You kind of think
See, ironically,
because then if you look at the green, green
like
camos
woodland
work.
almost works best. Well, the
Woodland
woodland
works
works in the
really
woods, but nonetheless,
Yeah,
it does work.
Woodland
It's
works.
actually crazy.
There's a reason that everybody
I'd say
uses woodland.
I'd say the 3 best camos in the woods, in my experience of what I've had a hard time seeing, is woodland, multicam, and ATAX.
Yeah.
If I could
AOR?
have
No.
Swedish M90?
So, keep going.
Right.
if I had the choice
Yeah.
to run like a green camo, like I like woodland. Woodland's simple and it's super accessible, but like
It's stupid.
we used to run ATAX.
It's stupid how good ATAX
It's
was.
stupid how
it's
good.
Like unfair.
When me and some of my guys went to Autumn Justice forever ago, I got friendly fired about 5 times wearing ATAX
It's pretty
because
bad.
they
Very
thought
bad.
that I was the enemy. I was like moving up, trying to flank these
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
by myself, and they were like, they used to lift me up. I'm like, you better get a goddamn medic over here. But ATAX, I feel like ATAX, the green, like I feel like that works best.
Yeah.
If it's not
And-
that, woodland.
And especially like this New England environment.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Now, I will say ATAX is the exact opposite of the solid
Yeah.
shirt color kind of thing.
Yeah.
You get friendly fired to fuck, and it's really, really frustrating. But you realize if you wear ATAX, be prepared to be friendly fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will happen, full stop.
Yeah, you should. I mean, if you're running as a large squad element, I mean, chances are you're going to be spotted with so many people. So
Right.
the solid color is a nice idea, but like for recon, ATAX is 10
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, is be prepared to be friendly fired. On the same token, I mean, probably my favorite example is I did get shot here, to be fair, but there was one point where I was moving up and someone surprised me. There was a tan guy to my left I didn't see, and so I just hit the deck. And I literally had my gun laying on the ground, and I was in like tall grass. I was not in any kind of cover, and at the time I didn't carry sidearm, and my gun was above 500 FPS. So I'm like, I can't even shoot this guy. Like, all I can do is like, I was like, all I can do is hope he doesn't shoot me. And so I was literally lying with my head down as still as I perfectly could. I watched his feet. He was standing this far from me for a solid like 2 minutes. And finally he fired one shot into my boot. And I got up and he goes, holy fuck. And I go, what? He goes, dude, I was staring at you for 2 minutes and wasn't sure if it was a person. And he goes, I just shot at the boot because I wasn't sure.
Just a random boot just hanging
That was the
out.
best. Like,
But
I like
I'm
that.
on ATAX boots now.
Yeah. But
But at that
ATAX
point, you just have to like karate chop his legs and be like, dead.
You're like, I can see you.
No, literally, I'm sitting there like, this dude's standing there, and I'm like,
Should just got Rambo.
I'm like,
and, come
what
up
am
and
I
like,
supposed to do? And I'm like, maybe he won't see me. Maybe he won't see me. He did eventually see me, but the fact that it took him like
That long
2
to
minutes
figure
to
it
figure it out, I think that in itself says how good
Yeah.
ATAX is.
So if we could, I'd run Woodland or the ATAX, the foliage green,
But you
just
got it.
because it's so cool. But it's also the camo the Rebels wore. That's what initially got me on the team that I was initially on. It was like they were like, oh, we
Star
run this
Wars
camo.
camo.
I was like, Rebels.
Star Wars camo, yep.
So,
But you guys gotta come over to green next year. I'm telling you, it's more
Dog.
fun. It's more fun.
No, they won't do it because they have a name for themselves on tan.
apparently.
That's super important in Airsoft, guys.
What?
It's not just me. You gotta convince. Yeah, there are people you have to convince.
That's, I mean, the cool, like, do whatever you want, but like,
Everyone's into it
That's
until
why
they
I
have
don't
to
do
do it.
teams. That's why I don't do teams.
Everyone's into it until they don't want to, until they get to it, and then they don't want to do it. They're like, oh yeah, let's all do this. It's like,
And then they have to buy a camo.
well, everyone has
We
it.
have a designated.
Everyone
green
has
camo.
M81.
So what?
So sometimes.
You guys kill me. Literally all of you guys have told me how you want to run green.
Almost all of us.
Oh,
Except for like maybe Brendan McCarthy.
Shout out.
Shout out to Brett, man.
But I think now would be a good time to do our product call out. One of them that is kind of old at this point, and I know a lot of people have already talked about it, but it never ceases to amaze me in terms of its kind of innovative ability, and it's not an outdoor gun. I'll be the first to say. It's definitely an indoor gun, and did they sell longer barrels for it? I think
they do.
Right?
They just. I think they're taking
carbine.
pre-orders for the carbine.
So maybe with the longer barrels and a longer rail system, be more outdoor oriented. But I kind of liked how it's not an M4 gun, which does have the one downside of the magazines do cost kind of.
You can bet it's like $65 for like a pack of 3.
Right. It's
For
kind of
75 round mags.
They're great mags. Don't get
yeah.
me wrong. But they are low capacity. They do cost a lot. That is, if they did this with like an M4 magazine, I don't think they'd be able to keep it in stock.
No.
To be
Probably
completely
not.
honest. This is like the one downside of the gun. But otherwise, they kind of took every feature you might want in an airsoft gun and threw it in there. They have a retractable stock that also folds.
Yeah.
They have safe, semi, 2-round burst, and fully automatic.
3 burst.
Oh, sorry, 3-round burst.
Yeah.
My mistake. They have functioning bolt catch, easy to adjust top up. What's so funny?
Yes. Nothing. Benjamin Tran keeps asking if he should do a GMR loadout, and I'm saying he'll receive a good amount of hate.
Well, you can't even buy. You can't even buy a Polar Star. What makes you think you're going to do a loadout?
It's because all the other Speedsoft kids did the GMR thing, so now they're all like, "Oh, let's all do that."
Well, also it's because
So-
GMR has a pretty bad name in
I
Airsoft,
shouldn't
and
have
you're
asked.
copying someone else's ideas.
They got a better name now, though.
Actually, we'll bring that up later. We'll bring up our thoughts and opinions on impersonist kits.
All right, we'll do that later.
We'll do that later.
But continuing on this, like I was saying, it has fully ambidextrous controls. I mean, it's really just great gun. Rails, top or quad rail up front, nice long rail up top, sling points, single point sling points in the rear. I wouldn't really do this with a 2-point sling; it'd be kind of silly.
Yeah.
It would be a little weird.
Maybe with
pretty-
a longer
yeah.
version. And it fires really great. Here, I'll pass it over to you if you want to talk about it. While I pull the video.
Here you go.
If you
medic-
don't know anything about it, I can talk about it.
Our medic runs this because it's just super.
He does,
light.
Sam. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've run it a few
Shout
times. One
So-
day I was like, I took it from him. I was like, I need a gun to go out, and he was like, here you go. I was like, do you have mags? So I had like 3 or 4 mags, and the thing was nice. Like in here, it was like laser accurate.
Oh yeah,
I loved it.
Well, that's another great thing is it's like crazy accurate right out of the box.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the audio is going to work, but I'm going to try for the moment. But yeah, great rate of fire, and the best part is it's MOSFET controlled. So out of the box, they actually suggest 11 lipos, right?
Yeah, they suggest
Is-
11
and
ones
it really-
to make it run best.
Honestly, it just doesn't sound good on a 7.4.
No. And it won't
GMR
run-
or Speedsoft, which has a better name?
A better
I'm
name?
stumped.
Or a
better
worse
name?
name? But yeah, sorry, I was just reading the comment verbatim.
I'm stumped.
Bring forth.
Did we mention the bolt release feature?
Yeah,
Or,
so the cool
magazine
thing
cop?
about the cool thing
Oh,
is
I
that
didn't. You're right.
even though they're 75 round make caps, but once the follower will like pop up, so it'll tell the gun that it's empty. So then it's like a stop, kind of like on an ERG or like a Tokyo Warrior recoil shock, where it'll stop. So then you have to take it out, pop in a fresh magazine, and then you have to hit the bolt release that's on this side. You have to pull that down before it will be able to start shooting again, which is cool. Anything.
Is there a way to disable that?
I'm not sure.
I guess pull the follower out of the magazine.
I think they made a high cap one. I don't think it.
They have an 800 or 650 high cap.
Oh,
like it's a
really?
Fat mag.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just came out recently.
So that fixes to me. That
Yeah.
fixes the whole magazine. Then.
Oh yeah. So a high
Um,
cap would be nice. Like I liked running this thing. It's super lightweight. The issue that I ran into is, I don't have the biggest hands, but they're like a decent, enough size. The one issue that I run into is sometimes, like when I would be engaging somebody, the selector
accidentally
kind of
pull it.
sits a little low. So I either hit it to safety, and then I try to shoot and I can't, or I hit it to 3-round burst and I accidentally 3-round burst. I'm so sorry, this gun is.
And if I remember correctly, this gun, unlike a Polar Star, if you just tap the trigger, it'll fire all 3 rounds.
It
It's a
will.
3-round
You
burst,
just
no
tap
matter
it.
what.
If you hit it, no matter how much,
Yeah.
it'll go.
Um,
But it's kind of cool. Anything that's like this front sling point can be moved to the other side. You can move the bolt. You can move that to the other
Truly
side as well.
ambidextrous.
So that's super cool. But it also has a quick change spring in the back.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Like I said,
It
it's
has like
literally.
18 features.
I was gonna say,
It has a million
it's
things.
literally like if someone wrote a wish list of
Of
everything
things
they
you
want in an
wanted to
airsoft gun, they
This
put
is
it
it.
in that.
Yeah.
The only thing they missed was the take an M4 magazine.
That too, yeah. But so
Think about
these
how much- come on, that-
stock these things shoot
Yeah.
like $370, but you can it's just $15 at a spring change.
Right.
What's his name? Canadian dude, Canadian sniper. House Gamers just put out a video where he ran like .3s in this thing, and he like overhopped the crap out of it. And he was just sniping kids.
Oh wow.
Which is pretty cool. But like indoors, like this thing's a monster, and the 3-round burst goes by so quick, and then full auto, you're just ripping it. The only the downside is not M4 mags, but then the battery space.
Battery
You need
sucks. They did such a good job with the rest of the gun, and then they're like, oh, we need to put a battery.
and then the flash
About
you gotta put. They were like crap, and then the flash hider. You have to buy a 14 mil to 12.
18?
Oh, it's an 18 mil
Yeah.
to a 12 mil adapter, which they do sell. But then you just you
Yeah.
unscrew it, and that's where the battery goes. I've had luck with a split type 11 one where the larger part goes up top and then the thinner part kind of goes in
Giving it a
here.
finger.
Giving-
Hey.
Or a
But,
stick type battery, but split type. 'Cause
Personally,
you
I
can
do a
move
pack
it.
box.
Yeah,
I
it'd
would
just be
actually
much
rather have
easier to
done
just
that.
mount
I
it.
hate battery pet boxes, but in this case,
Yeah,
It's like you have to.
yeah.
but this thing's super.
When they come out with a carbine one, I might pick one up.
Yeah, like
Backup
I think
agent.
they're still on pre.
look,
order,
Gordon's
but it's
watching.
definitely coming out.
Oh,
Gordon.
Yeah.
up,
I
Gordon?
just noticed
Gordon.
that. What's up,
Who's
man?
watching?
Gordon.
Gordon Cobalt.
Gordon.
The man behind the curtain.
Yeah,
Actually,
right,
not
right.
really behind the curtain.
I was
But
gonna say.
He's right up there.
He'll have to come and be honest.
But yeah,
with
the
us,
hop
for sure.
up, the hop up's cool because it's just an Allen key and you just turn it. So the only downsides are really the battery space. So you're gonna have to probably buy a specific battery for this. And I heard that the ASG, like the batteries that they make specifically for this, don't really fit that good, which is really weird. Like I've heard people complain. It's like the stock ASG ones don't work too well.
Huh.
But this thing is a super high quality and it has a 1-year warranty on it through ASG.
Like I said,
There's. Oh yeah.
is there anything else you would want in an airsoft gun
Um,
other than a better battery compartment?
that too.
Better
Even
battery
cheap.
and magazines a little.
I mean, but this thing's super lightweight, so it's like running around in here. It didn't even feel like I was
What's
holding
that?
anything. It was just-
Gordon says literally driving right now.
Safety.
That's a real MVP. You the real MVP. But yeah, I mean, and the sights are removable,
yeah.
which is nice. The front one you take a screw out the top, but then this one's just
All right,
on the
cool.
side.
Yeah.
So
Not bad at all. Like I said, yeah, Scorpion Evo, we have them in the store, but overall, just we think they're awesome.
funky fresh.
Yeah, they're cool. But yeah, back on to today's topic, Spring Offensive. Is there anything else you guys are doing to get ready, or anything else you would suggest? Like, for example, I always say bring backups to almost everything you have. Don't
Yeah.
bring them out to spawn because that's just carrying more weight than you need to do.
Yeah.
But like I'd always bring up an extra set of eye protection, if not for me, for somebody else, kind of thing. If you're someone who only runs a few mid caps, bring extra.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bring
it never
extra.
hurts.
Bring extra batteries. I don't care if you have a Polar Star. Bring an extra battery.
Bring at least
You'd
one.
be surprised, like how quickly you can drain a Polar Star.
Oh, yeah,
battery.
yeah.
And it's the worst when you're literally stranded. You're like, fuck.
No one has. Well, nowadays,
not- yeah,
I'd say
everyone
50%
has
of
them,
players are
A
Polar
lot of
Stars.
people
Yeah.
run Polar Stars now, but like
It's crazy,
couldn't
really.
always, yeah.
Um,
But
And-
like definitely, yeah.
just like exactly. Little parts, things that fail. Bring some
Yeah.
extras.
Bring
then.
buckings.
Yes.
Fucking yeah.
Yes.
That
Oh
Every
my
actually-
God.
around me, I'm like
be
trying to
surprised.
change it while
Oh.
getting shot at. Like
It literally takes 2 minutes to change a bucking.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
your bucking fails and you don't have another one, it'll ruin your entire event.
Exactly.
Yeah, because then you can't hit.
you can't shoot. You can't shoot at all.
Just whack people when you're done.
Exactly.
No, please don't. Oh, what not to bring, because I'm pretty sure Gordon will actually shoot you, is lightsabers. Don't bring lightsabers on the field.
Not the place.
This is not a Star Wars event.
Don't bring
okay?
Nerf axes. Don't bring lightsabers. Don't bring...
Don't bring Captain America shields.
Yeah, because, well, actually, my favorite... If you're on Code 4, do bring a shield, because anything that's gear counts as a hit. So, it would just be a giant thing for me to shoot at.
It's
Oh, also, don't show up in your pajamas. I can say that because that was me. It was kind of funny. Because
What? Okay, I need a story.
Yeah, no, this is great. So every time, Cobalt would always stop by, he'd always be like, yeah, there's always that one guy, who shows up in Captain America's shield or who wears his pajamas. And every time he said that, it wasn't until the second or third time that he said it that I realized he was talking about me. Because at one game for the Sunday, I literally just showed up I was late for PCI, so I put on my pajamas and people thought it was funny, so I kept wearing it. And then I didn't realize that he was actually passive aggressively calling me being like, you're a dumbass and I hate you. I'm pretty sure that's what he meant. I don't even know if he knew it was me. But at one point I had to come clean and I was like, you know what? I think you're talking about me. Because I did wear that.
I have a really good hunch.
So I do. I have apologized about that.
But also, Gordon, if you are still listening, let me know what you think about me allowing me to use a grenade launcher that shoots 300 feet. Because I kind of want to use that a lot.
Misfire hits school.
Just launch
5 children dead because it went through all their heads. Just boom.
Launch smoke grenades from Brew Force spawn into Co-Force spawn.
Just we can't.
It goes into the middle of
Sir,
football
we can't
game.
see anything. We can't see anything, sir.
But sigh. What were we just talking about?
We were talking about stuff to bring out on the field.
Oh yeah. No, I just do love
To
at the
your
beginning of
CP.
I love at the beginning of every game. Gordon always goes, "All right, guys, I don't want to see any lightsabers." And you hear somebody every single game. You hear someone go, "Oh," they walk out with a fucking lightsaber and get rid of it.
Dumb.
You go to a game with a lightsaber light.
But it's not a Star Wars based game.
You're gonna get destroyed because everyone's gonna hate you.
Get wrecked. Even your own team's gonna be like, I'd shoot this
I contemplate shooting them.
I can't. Yeah, always make sure you bring water, food, Gatorade. Make sure you bring ammo. Bring your Odins. Odins are probably the greatest. Odins are. If you don't have an Odin and you have an M4, or really, you've come out.
You're late to the game.
Bingo Airsoft has come out with so many custom prints for any
9mm, PTW. There's so many different ones that you can do.
Even for the Scorpion, they came out with one, which is pretty baller. But if you don't have an Odin, and you're still running that SL14, gotta get in the game because that'll literally be like,
freaking Morocco.
double M4, double M4.
Well, I love how it's an SL14 is already obsolete, and it's 3 years, if that old.
Yeah, right.
And it was kind of even obsolete. It
was good.
Last year. I was still rocking my SL14, but once I got an Odin, the world changed, and reloading was never the same. Huge game changer.
Well, and one of the best things you can do is, inevitably you're going to die, and you're going to be walking back to respawn. I did this at Patriot too. I kept the Odin fully loaded, so it wasn't a Maraca.
Yeah.
I just kept it with me in one of my back mag pouches. I'd be like, "Oh, I'm walking back to respawn. Load. I get to respawn. I'd be like, "Okay, I'm good to go."
That was the thing that happened with me is I was running SAW for that, but the box mag got screwed up, so I could only run mid caps. So I had my Odin on me.
Response about your.
Go ahead.
So I had my Odin on me, so constantly needing ammo was imperative. So I'd be dead. Right. I just reload all my mags, and then I'm good to go. As a SAW gunner, much needed, very much wow.
So from the man himself. Shields do count as shields.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, my mistake. I was incorrect.
Go ahead on the smoke launcher. Don't use the hard plastic foam training rounds from Taggin. That will crack your windshield.
Okay,
if you put that into there. So.
No, at worst, at most I'm using a Nerf rock.
Yeah, a Nerf rock or something. That would be fine.
I didn't know shields counted as shields.
Yeah, well, I think it's just the whole. It probably was stemmed from the whole Captain America shield was said no because it broke the immersion. So we probably just derived from that. Oh, shields are no.
It was Spring Offensive. Last year.
Now we know.
I remember somebody on Groove 4, one of the people doing. They were all kitted out with their Russian. They had a shield and they were moving up, but.
See, I like the idea if you have a shield, it has to weigh 40 pounds.
It has to be heavy.
Yeah,
if it's lightweight,
Milson West does that. They have to be the actual ballistic shields if you're going to use them.
Right.
Oh, wow.
They have to. It's
awesome.
We have the Nerf. We have the ref shields here, and they weigh a pound.
They weigh nothing.
And to me, that would just be unfair as hell. I want.
Yeah,
if you're carrying a shield, it has to be
something
annoying as hell.
Yeah. If it's a riot shield, you have to have 20-pound weights tied to it.
Right.
Because otherwise that's just unreasonable. And then it's so now you have to take out I don't know. it's lame. You should be slow moving if you have a shield. Like,
Well, I think
end of
if I
story.
remember correctly, the rules, you can't have like a rifle.
You have to have a pistol.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to have a pistol. So, to be fair,
It does limit him a bit.
that does
See, I
balance
think I
things out.
still did get the op loader, and it would be smart to have an op loader up as we're talking
Yeah,
about the
except
rules.
to make sure that Co-4 sitting next to you doesn't see the Group 4 stuff.
True.
Because I think Jim would probably shoot you.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Let me get.
Let me smash.
I can just get the rule set up. That'd be cool.
Yeah, the rule set.
Nudes. Be
Good to
like,
bring up.
please send nudes. Don't.
But, and for those, to be fair, actually, we should probably offer some advice. There are probably some people going from around the area. This is their first.
Yeah, there are a lot of customers that have
yeah.
come in that they're like, this is my first event, and I'm super stoked for those.
I'm
guys.
also sitting there thinking, how'd you get a ticket?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's like
They sold out like so fast. Oh god, that was such a headache. The way it started, it's in no way like anybody's per se fault. It just didn't go as well.
It
as
just
it
didn't. It
It
wasn't.
was PayPal's fault.
It wasn't ready. PayPal wasn't. He wasn't ready.
It wasn't ready.
I was like, there's no way 400 people are crashing a ticket website right now. This is,
Boom,
Yeah.
done.
But no, like I said, for those people who are first time going to this game, what kind of advice would you offer to them?
Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open and kind of make sure you
Head on a
pay-
swivel.
Head on a swivel. Make sure you need to be being your first time being at an event. You need to be like not hyper aware, but you really need to be aware of your surroundings because you might not exactly know everything that's going on. Make sure that if you're a squad leader for the first time, make sure you're communicating with command if you're not like something. Make sure you're communicating so that you know what your mission is, and if you have questions, like totally ask them.
Oh yeah.
Because
And do that before the game.
Yeah, please
Don't be
do that
asking,
before.
Don't be asking them. Over
So what's
the
our
radio.
objective?
Right.
So what's our objective here? So like talk. Chat up people on your team. Find out who the CO is and like talk to them. Be like, hey, this is my first event and I'm squad leader. Give me
Shouldn't
some
be
tips.
squad leader.
Yeah, it shouldn't. If
Probably
it's your
not.
first event,
I-
it's probably a bad
absolutely
idea.
not.
Per se.
But like stuff like that, like definitely talk to either like more experienced players or definitely talk to
And
like,
do that in
command.
the planning groups.
Yeah.
Beforehand. And
Get
that's,
involved.
That's something I can't stress
If
enough.
you
Another-
don't get
another
involved,
good
then
one.
you have no way.
Yeah, that's a huge one. Getting involved in planning groups. Another one we mentioned it earlier is pace yourself.
Yes.
Again,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
huge.
this
And
is a
if you think
marathon.
you're
not a
tired,
sprint.
everyone's tired.
Yeah.
Honestly, don't be like, I'm exhausted, I'm going to step out for a while. Everyone's tired.
There's
but
definitely
just-
going to be one person that's more unfit on the field than you.
Right.
So just imagine, like, all right, well, I can't be the worst person on the field.
Excel
Just keep
squad,
going.
we all unfit.
And
Yeah,
honestly,
true.
the best thing you can do for yourself, if you let yourself get down or like, we're losing, if you let yourself think you're tired, your adrenaline levels
You're
drop,
automatically.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
you will be tired.
The
If
game
you-
is beating you at that point.
Right. If you keep your excitement up, if you just stay excited about stuff and just keep thinking about the game ahead of you, the fight ahead of you,
Yeah.
your body will naturally keep the adrenaline levels
You
high.
never really know.
Yeah.
If
and you
you're-
won't even realize you're tired.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
never
It'll
really
affect
know.
the people around you too. Like,
Yeah.
No, exactly. As
Yeah,
long
it
as you
Motivate
affects
others.
morale. Yeah, your whole squad
Yeah.
morale will drop if everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Even if two people are starting to drag their feet,
Yeah.
everyone else.
It
will
almost,
start to-
becomes an excuse for everyone else to do the same.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like they're all kind of thinking like, man, I'm getting tired. Then one person does, they're like, oh, I
Well,
can
not
join
the
in.
first now.
Yeah,
Right.
not
Yeah.
exactly. not the
So
first.
That's why I brought that kazoo. Because then we sat for
That was hilarious.
We sat at the spring offensive. We just sat there for 10 minutes at CP, and Vinny would just be like, "Chuckles, play this." So I'm playing, and dudes on the vehicle are just video
The
chatting.
kids
me.
around us are just
And they're just
dying.
everyone's dying laughing, but like it's something like even
No,
I
but
mean
yeah.
that's like a me thing, but like find a way to like
Keep energy up.
keep the energy and the morale up because once
And
once
the
you're
more
beat,
people on the field having fun, the more fun you're gonna have.
that's the best.
Yeah.
It
Do
is-
whatever you do is the number one thing is to have fun and enjoy the experience because this is something you're paying money for. It's a completely unique experience. If it's your first time, you've never done anything like this. You want to absorb it all. You want to have as much fun as possible. If you're not having fun, kind of defeats the purpose
Right.
of like playing airsoft.
And on the same token, you're there to have fun.
Yeah.
Don't get salty about
Don't get
stupid
too-
stuff.
Don't get
Yeah.
don't get too mad.
Just like if someone's not calling their hits, shoot them again. If they're really being jerks about not calling hits, don't go start a fight with them. Don't go start yelling at them. If they're really being a
Don't throw
problem,
your
hop on
gun.
the ref channel and be like, hey, this squad at this location isn't calling their hits.
Yeah.
Don't need to go up and call them for them.
They have game
Don't need to
staff.
start a fist fight.
Right,
This
there's-
isn't hockey.
Right? There's no reason. And okay, like, you know, I've had it happen as perfect example. There's people that, when they're running ghillie, a lot of times they don't feel themselves get hit
Yeah.
at
That's
200 plus
there's a
feet.
lot of stuff.
And so, like, there was one time playing recon, and we had a sniper and sniper engagement between me and someone else in a ghillie. And I saw a round or two hit him and him not call it. And I was like, you know what? He probably doesn't even feel it. And rather than continuing to engage or getting mad about it, I just went a different direction.
Yeah.
Like, if
At
you
that
ha-
kind of a range, like.
Yeah, you also got to watch out for how far you're engaging people. Like if you're shooting like 200 to 300 feet, I feel for most guns. I mean,
You
like,
can't
you
really
might be able
say,
to do that,
like-
but you can't really shoot somebody from 200 to 300
and
feet.
if
with a
and if you
normal
do,
Yeah.
if you are hitting someone at that distance, it's just like a
they're not even gonna feel
Yeah.
it.
So
So
because you're shooting at like the most you can shoot at for your standard rifleman is 400 FPS. By that point in time, at that distance,
it's shooting them at like 20 feet per
yeah,
second.
exactly. It'll be like
because the wind's affecting it, you also have to worry about all the brush because there's a lot
Yeah.
of brush there.
yeah.
Another thing
There are
is,
a lot of factors in the way
Sorry.
defining whether or not if it's something like you're in town and you're up in somebody's face shooting, that's a different story
totally.
completely.
Yeah.
But then there's like you can't tell.
Yeah.
You can't see where the BBs are going. They disappear. You're like, you don't have an optic.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
see
The
an
only,
optic.
like, you know, that's one benefit of a magnified scope.
Is that you
can
can see
watch
the
the
bad
freaking
BBs.
pellet.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say,
The
Vince?
baddies.
oh, I was just gonna say another thing. Like, if you are hitting someone from that range, like, or even in general, just on the whole, I've said this a couple of times before, but on the whole, like, if someone isn't calling their hits, like, instead of calling them for them, just think like, if this were real, they would be lying.
Like,
on the
you were
ground.
successful.
Like I would say, like, I actually won this. Of course, I saw them hit. Like,
Right.
I got hit. Like, I won. Like,
Right.
I win. Whatever. They're not gonna call it. That's whatever. Just move
Right.
on. Just don't like let yourself fall into that. You know.
Right,
that-
and
that
it
rut.
returns back to just keep the morale high.
Yeah.
The more fun you tell yourself you're having, the more fun you're gonna have.
Yeah.
I did think of 3 more things that are an absolute freaking must come to this event. I believe one of them, I think 2 of them are even in the rules.
Actually, well, I've got a few from
Oh, yeah, go
comments.
ahead. Go ahead.
Well, actually, say those, and
Okay.
I'll let you know
So I was
if
gonna
those
say,
are.
1, communication. Bring
Yes.
a good quality radio
Yes.
with you.
Yep.
We
Learn,
talked about
learn
this
how to
in the past.
use
You
it.
go look at our communication
Yeah, please.
podcast, and
Imperative.
we go over really everything about it. I'm going to be borrowing your Baofeng again
Yeah,
this
yeah.
this event.
Ultimate Radio, get it. Everyone
2,
wants it.
another one that I think is a requirement is bring a good quality flashlight with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
they
that's a
require you to
requirement.
have a
Flashlights
And,
are a
and
requirement.
you know, on top of that, if you can, for example, my flashlight has a white light and a red light. Bring a nav light with you if you can. Because everyone on your team will hate you if you shine a white light at them. I've discussed how it takes 20 minutes for your retinas to readjust to darkness
Right.
with just an instant flash of light. If you have a red light, it doesn't affect your retinas. You can use it as a navigation light without, at respawn, stuff
Without
like
really
that, without
risking too
pissing
much.
everybody off.
That's it.
And 3, and most importantly, and I've made this mistake in the past, not most importantly, but importantly, bring a marked map. Bring a
Yeah.
map that has the different objectives named.
That was one of them.
Because-
Well, not one of them, but close.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
because, or like maybe, for example, some teams will have a map marked with different names that they're going to use internally. But either way, have a marked map with you, whether it be on your sleeve, in your pocket. I always keep one in my
Yeah, I
top
keep one
pocket.
in my admin.
So when they say, go to keep, I can go,
I don't know if I remember.
oh yeah, that's where it is. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Or I can go where the like. Sometimes after bushwhacking for 40 minutes, you pop out into a trail and you're like, I don't know
Where
where
am I?
the
Yeah.
fuck I am.
That's what happened at Feel Good.
Yeah,
Is that the
Feel
maps?
Good is
None of
killer.
them. When we went for Red Timber, none of the maps that they gave us were right. They put one up, and that was wrong. And then they gave
Just
one to
kept
us.
getting
and
wrong information. It was
they gave us the
crazy.
wrong one at the event. They were like, "Here you go," but this map's not right. And we're like, "What's the point?" So then we got lost in the woods for the first 45 minutes of the game trying to hike up. We didn't know
That
how.
field is dope though.
It's a dope field.
I
But we
just wish
got
they put more
lost.
effort into like town and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
like,
it's a good field.
I think I
But-
mean the woods part of it I think is pretty cool.
Oh, I
Yeah,
agree completely. It's
but
like
then-
every terrain in one.
But then it just goes back to make sure you have a correctly marked map. Like have the most updated map because that's what Stag is like.
Yeah,
Good
and,
at,
and
like-
if you can have someone on your squad who's
Who's
played at the
dedicated
field,
and
well,
knows
has played
that
at the
too.
field before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were more of the items on the list. Though.
So to start off with, pace yourself. We've already touched on that. It is a marathon, not a sprint. Stick with your battle buddy in your fire team. That's huge.
That is huge. That's
you will get penalized
Yeah.
if you are found by yourself in the parking lot or at CP and a staff member follows you. Or a staff member or a referee finds you, you're costing your
loses
entire...
more points than you can gain in a single action.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. So that's a huge penalty.
Yeah.
And the rest of your team will hate you endlessly.
Just like if you're the guy who breaks the ceasefire, if you're the guy who loses points because they're not with their squad, I will still hate you.
Yeah, everyone will just like...
And it's a safety thing too. You're out in the
it's
middle of the woods.
Safety, yeah.
No lone wolfing it. You get hurt out there.
It's a pretty... There's a lot of extra woods
Oh
back
yeah,
there.
you can be thick back there and no one's going to find you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, plain and simple.
Which is also
I watched somebody knock
brilliant.
themselves out at one of these events.
Yeah. Another one was
it Jamie?
Another one that does that does kind of touch upon. This is a slightly altered version of it. This is actually Charles that has suggested all these, and he said check out the AO via Google Maps.
Oh yeah.
Get a basic idea of where you are if you can. Look at Google Images. They have the website with AO pictures. Definitely look at that. Just learn the environment that you're playing in so you can tailor your kit, maybe even your camo to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another one is slow is steady, steady is smooth, and smooth is fast. So no need to sprint to the objectives, kind of like what we went on before.
Unless you need to be there right then.
Unless
there's a dire
Unless they say
reason.
get there now, then you're...
Yeah.
But like the
Especially
beginning of the
QRF.
stop is a perfect example.
QRF.
There's a ceasefire. Beginning of the stop has a ceasefire. The best thing to do is pace yourselves.
Exactly, yeah. And then another one was a couple questions about how the squad works. So it is probably too late to do any form of registration. I know that's been closed for weeks.
Probably, definitely.
Especially moving around the roster, that's getting kind of close to being too late.
Yeah.
But how squad works is like, let's say one person had asked on YouTube is how do squads work? I have one friend that would like to come next time. Would I be teamed up with a random squad? And so how you do that is you would need to name yourself a team. Give yourself a team name so you can call it the Cooks, since that's your last name. Cooking Up Trouble or something, rad like that. And
negative, not rad.
and so if you only have 2 people in your
Savage.
squad, yes, you will be netted in with another squad. I believe the minimum I think is like 7 or something for a squad a squad element, maybe
I
6.
can't remember, to be honest.
But if you have a very low amount of people, chances are you're going to get
You'll
netted
get
in with
attached
another
to
squad
another
of 4, which is always isn't the best. But then again, I mean, if this is a squad-based game. You can't just be lone wolfing with your bros.
There's no way you can complete any objectives.
Yeah, you won't
gonna
get
get
anything
destroyed.
done.
Yeah.
Exactly. You will get nothing done.
So
Someone said post on the forums that you're looking for a squad.
I was gonna say,
that way at least you'll know the people that you're getting.
so you don't
squatted
get
up with.
thrown with a bunch of randoms.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
at least you'll be in touch with.
And
I've told my story before about getting hooked up with a random squad where I had a squad with all hard hitters. I handpicked them all Gen 3 nods, and then the other half of the squad were kids with full face masks and rental G&Gs.
Oh.
And it was just, and their moms dropped them off. They were completely unprepared, no backpack. They had 2 high cap mags, like ready to rumble. It was.
That happened back
Still
in the
get like nightmares about it.
back in the old days. We had stuff like that happen because we didn't have enough guys necessarily to fill out a squad. So we got put with like 3 randoms at the first one we went, and we played. And after like not even half the day, those guys ditched.
And
So
then
then
a weak squad.
and then it was the night game. We got attached to another squad. Like there were some guys there. We pretty much were like one squad. And so, excuse me, I'm dying. And then their squad leader was a kid. It was like a 14-year-old kid, and we were like, all right, what's the plan? So then we were kind of getting set up in the tree line to, hold. This was when we were green. So then we were trying to call down the hill. We were like, tan team was like, oh, we're green. Oh, okay. Lights on. Just messed us up. But then we were in the thick of it, and we couldn't find where they were. They left for the day.
Oh my god.
Like that literally happened 3 times. Is that whoever we got attached with just left, except for my boy Saxon, who held it down.
Nice.
So, but like stuff like that happens, you'll get random. So
Probably my worst random story is last Autumn Justice, actually. For Saturday, we had a player we had never played with before, me and Jake. And at one point, we hiked through the brush for literally 40 minutes to get around the tan, like, fortification freaking wall that they made around Green Spawn. And we had gotten into, like, almost to town. And there's a tan squad coming. So me and Jake dipped in the woods, and we were just hiding in the brush. And this tan squad's in front of us. And this random kid we were with, just start shooting them.
Oh,
No.
And
That
obviously,
is the worst.
14 guys taking on 3 guys that are just hiding in the brush.
Someone's gonna lose.
We get
It's
wiped
probably
immediately.
you.
And me and Jake are just sitting there like, that was an hour's worth of work.
That's
You
weak.
just needed
That
to just
sucks.
not shoot and just let the tan squad go by. We were
Yeah.
so bad.
That's bad.
But, you know,
some people
that
just don't
happens.
understand the concept of sometimes not shooting is the best option for that situation.
Yep.
It's not about the kills; it's about the objectives. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Read the battle. Read the situation. Read the battle. Don't. Come on. That's so close-minded of you to just to see. Oh, enemy! Shoot them!
everyone.
Ooh, ooh. All right. That's the COD mentality.
Like, even if you kill them, like, they can respawn and they know where you are now. Unless
Right.
you're, like,
they can tell people back there.
They
that-
can tell people
They can
everywhere.
radio
You can
and-
have 2 squads on you if you're like
Yeah.
a squad size.
Chances are they're gonna get pissed and radio in as they're walking back. Sadly, people will do that.
Oh, I hate
So
that.
you're
but
gonna you can have an enemy squad running at you in 2 minutes.
I will straight up. I've
So-
seen green squads doing it. I'll straight up go to them and be like, "Dude, shut the fuck up. You're
Yeah,
dead."
doing
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like
Yeah.
when I see someone do that, even on my own team, it
Wait, what are they
pisses
doing?
me off. When they're dead and they're radioing enemy positions.
Oh,
when they're
that's
dead.
fun.
I will go right up to a
understand.
green dude and be like, "Shut the fuck up. You're dead. Dead
Yeah.
man, don't talk." And they usually go, "Oh, oops." So that's like, yeah, okay. Because
That's
we
the
don't need to
worst.
do that.
Scott's my favorite because he'll usually just like when he's dead, he'll usually just blast the radio. So all you hear is like Boogie Wonderland by Earth, Wind and Fire.
Some random
Like,
Mexican music or something.
Yeah.
I did.
You're in the middle of an engagement. You're just like,
When I was at Operation Goldmember in Pennsylvania, when I was dead, I found a local jazz station, and so we were bunkered up in this room that only had one entrance, and so we had like 80 guns pointing in there. Eventually, I got fragged out, so I had this radio station going, and these guys are getting pissed off because we keep murking them as they keep funneling through this funnel dead. So they're getting pissed off, and they're like running in through jazz, and we're, oh my god, it was so funny.
Sounds hilarious.
Eventually, we finally get overrun, but one of them is just like, dude, fuck you and your fucking radio. He got so mad at me.
See, that's assault that needs to not happen in Airsoft. That's so ridiculous.
I'm just sitting there like,
hilarious.
it's jazz, bro. Come on.
How do
You
you
wanna
die
dance?
right now?
what
Oh,
did jazz ever
God.
do to you?
That's great.
So the last few minutes of the cast, what are you guys running on or your kits, especially you, Isaiah, since you're actually going?
I'm running my play carrier like you saw on the other podcast. I just got my radio in one of the pouches. Flat pack. My Odin's readily accessible. I can even take it out while it's on my back. And then my flat pack will carry any essential gear that I need. And then my fanny pack. That'll be my
Fanny
utility
pack. I love
pouch.
your freaking fanny pack.
It's
I love
amazing.
It's more people should just get it.
Yep.
We have them in stock right now.
We have them.
We have,
a
one,
few.
we have 2 left.
I'm not gonna lie, it's not the worst. It's just kind of funny.
It looks
It is.
funny, but it works amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't have to worry about getting shot.
Protect
Yeah,
it. Protect it.
protect certain areas that are important.
Oh, have I ever told the story about one of my teammates shot a guy in the balls so
No.
hard that he fell to the ground crying?
Oh,
Maybe.
We were down in Georgia, and this was at the Guardian Center, and the windows are big enough that you can just sprint right through them. Like with a good run and a good hop, you can just go right through them.
Yeah.
So this was at nighttime. We were all under nods. This was after I dropped my nods. So I was like, my
Oh, that's right. You got like
my motivation was like
you
so
thought you got a
low.
blemish.
And so it was actually a piece of plastic that fell in front of it, but it looked like I tore my phosphorus screen. So I was so upset. Anyways, that's not related to the story. I did fix them, but so this whole squad starts running up, and this guy runs through, and my friend Matt, he puts 3, and the FPS limit is 400 FPS at Millstone West, and there's they don't really have a very strict safety kill.
Restriction, yeah.
Yeah, so he was maybe from me to the end of this room, probably 15 feet away.
Okay.
He puts 3 right on like center testicle. And this guy,
I don't know about you. I only got
All
2.
3 of them. The center one.
and so this guy falls to the ground screaming. He's like, "Ah! Ah!" I'm just like, Matt, did you kill him?
That's airsoft.
He has to go down. He's like, he's got the left,
like, man,
the
this kid's never
right.
gonna-
He's like the center. Okay, we're good.
This guy's
One,
never
two,
gonna
three,
have
we're good.
babies again.
Oh.
I
But
know.
eventually he was able to get up and like limp away. But Matt was like,
I'm sorry.
What'd I do wrong? I shot him.
God.
See, I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry.
I mean, yeah, he did feel bad, but his first was like, what? What?
Oh,
and then
God.
eventually he was like, my balls! I was like, oh.
Usually I wear like compression briefs,
Yeah,
and
so long
usually
story
my
short-
pants are like enough that they'll absorb the blast. I'm like, ha 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 ha! And I'm just saying balls of
Yeah,
steel.
You'd be surprised.
It
happened-
BBs
happened.
to the balls are not.
It happened this
Yeah,
weekend. I got
fun.
shot, but my jeans saved me. I was like, thank you, jeans.
Right,
We were doing
right.
medic
Right
run.
on the thing.
We were doing medic run here one time, and some dude just like walked by a door, was like zip zip, and he was like he just like fell. I'm like, oh, you okay?
I've pretty much
Collecting
on
bodies.
on the old.
Weapon bodies.
I pretty much shot before I was on the Reapers. I had shot most of everybody in the dick at least once.
Terrible.
Like I was literally the tower just hit. I shot Brandon, Curtis, and just
I don't know about you guys. I didn't center mass.
I was
say
trying.
guys are aiming.
I was trying,
yeah.
but he was running for an objective, so I was just like, da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I've actually one time I was playing in here and I shot Matt Dowling, and I guess I was using iron sights, and so I was crouched down, and I guess I kept shooting in this
What
area.
is with you and iron sights and being low?
Yeah, and so at one point Matt Dowling came up to me. He's like, "You need to aim up," because I guess I lit him up right in the crotch area. It's not on purpose. I don't. Anyways,
shot
this is
just
quite the
in the
weird
nuts.
tangent.
Right, right. But I guess I'll,
Anyway,
I'll
moving
clarify what I'm wearing for my kit. Is
Oh, right,
I
we're doing
have
stuff.
a JPC, the what's that backpack I'm using? The hydration carrier.
That's a TMC one, right?
Backpack.
Yeah.
The
The
TMC.
TMC one?
Yeah, so
I
I
have
have
that.
map.
I have my
Swag.
water and my tank in that.
Swag.
I have one of the high-speed gear belts, and that's where I keep most of my magazines. Because I like being as low profile in the front as
So
possible,
then
so I
when you
can.
go prone, nothing's in the way.
Right.
And you can read it.
Exactly. So I'm all about being able to be low profile. So I do have plates in my vest.
Tall guy?
as well, right?
Low profile.
Or fake plates, but
They
nonetheless.
just keep the rigidity. I
Exactly.
like the
I
rigidity.
do real plates for airsoft. Push
Will
yourself
do.
to the limit.
Don't do that.
I usually carry. I
We'll
usually
die.
carry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I usually carry about 7 mid caps with me, and I rarely go through all of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've
have
moved
seven
down to
as
like
well.
6.
Yeah.
I
So I
usually
keep
just do
3 up
6.
front, and then 2 sets of 2 in my belt,
Yeah.
and then the last mag slot is for my Odin.
Yeah.
Simulator. That takes up 2.
Yeah.
Odin's nice.
And then I keep an HK-45 as my sidearm.
Oh yeah, I have a
The
TM
Black
Glock.
Holster.
TM Glock on my side. So.
I always rock that. I love my Elite Force 1911. Like I had the TAC and I
It is a
dropped it a
solid
million
choice.
times. It's super solid. Like I loved because I sat in the snow for a half hour at Patriot, and
Oh,
since I
nice.
was a SAW, I had to. You can't engage unless you have semi-auto within 30 feet.
Right.
But sometimes it just wasn't practical to use a rifle. So I was in the snow and I pulled it out. It was covered in snow, and I was still hitting
Nice.
people with it.
That's
So
where CO2 is great.
yeah, CO2
Um,
pistols will do.
It's just the thing about that is that's how you break a pistol because it's so cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Brittle.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's just like.
Anything plastic in it just shatters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, my only issue with the Elite Force pistol, and the reason that I run the 45, the HK-45 instead, is just mag capacity.
Yeah, you get 15 shots. Usually I'll do like
I like
two. I'll usually do like 2 standard, and then the extended.
Right.
But like it's 15, 15, and 27.
Right.
Whereas stock, it's like 26. for
Yawning.
each.
In terms of like standard magazines, I don't think many guns beat the HK's 26 rounds.
Yeah, no.
Pretty.
It's like a
The
high
only
cap
thing that
rifle.
does it now
Yeah.
is
A
the
high cap.
The high
like
cap
that.
is
HK
like
USP.
30 rounds or
60
something.
rounds.
the HK USP match. That just came out. It's like 28 rounds or something.
Oh yeah,
Just
that one is
regardless.
split. Yeah. That's a
But-
little bit, but still, you know, the HK guns generally have high
HK,
capacity.
they-
Because they're 45 size guns.
Yeah.
Right. So they're huge.
They're bigger.
Huge.
Any closing comments and announcements you want to go
Yeah,
over
any-
again before we go?
Yeah, the chat's slowed down, so if you guys have any questions in the chat, and just make sure you ask them, and you have
Yeah.
2 minutes to ask.
Yeah, just a reminder about the Extreme Airsoft first SWAT meet. All you gotta do is, it's just $5. You're gonna call us up, reserve a spot. We take your name, your number, email, whether or not you paid, and then you'll have a spot. You have to bring your own table or anything. You have to, yes, and your own stuff because we're making you pay $5. If you were renting a table, we'd probably have to charge you more, but it's just $5. You get to come. You can come and go as you please. They're not responsible if you leave your stuff and whatever, blah, 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 blah. You have to be 18 or older, or at least have a parent or guardian there if you want to engage in the sale of airsoft guns. But it's good. We'll have regular gaming going on from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. that night, so you'll have a lot of those guys can kind of go in. If you're just there to kind of check it out and maybe buy stuff, then that's fine. But if you're selling, you have to pay for a spot, have a dedicated table. So, absolutely.
Oh, actually, this question was asked a bit earlier. So if we could be on any special forces unit, which one would it be and why?
That's a good way to wrap up. I'll let you start.
No. Give me I want to think.
Okay.
Oh, I got one.
Okay.
Well, how is that?
God damn it, James, you start.
Okay, so I know that these are the classics, but really nothing to me beats either the Russian Spetsnaz or SEAL Team 6. I know everyone after the whole
basic special
forces. After the Osama bin Laden raid, SEAL Team 6 just is like the golden standard for the American badass. But if you watched any documentaries on them, even before that time, you'll know that they at one point the SEAL program or the Dev Group, the development group, had more funding than the entire United States Marine Corps. They are given everything that they ask for and then some.
Yeah.
And then of course the Spetsnaz are just
baller.
They're just not human.
So what they did, they got their rep. They don't negotiate with terrorists. So they had a bunch of dudes. They were robbing a bank.
Yeah.
They figured out
this story.
Actually, wasn't this the KGB that did this? But even still, the Russians in general.
It was the Alpha Group. So what they did is they through a network of informants, they found all the family members of.
Didn't they send them body parts of their family members?
So what they did is they found one of the family members they grabbed.
So
they took one of their family members and
of the robbers.
butchered them. Of the robbers, they butchered them and then sent them. Be like, we're not screwing around. And it's like, shit, no one's gonna mess with the Russians anymore.
Yeah, and after that, everyone was released and they came out with their hands up.
And no one kidnapped any Russian officials for 20 years after that. So don't bother.
So I'd say
don't bother.
If I'd be between two. One would be the Green Berets kind of thing, because I'm all about the stealth kind of aspect, and that's kind of what they do, is the stealth insurgency kind of tactics. But more realistically would be the Air Force. Their special operations is hot zone. What do you call it?
Search and rescue.
Search and rescue.
Pararescue guys.
So search and rescue in really hot combat zones, things like that. I think the cool idea about that is that the goal is to save someone's life, not necessarily the goal is to go kill somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you might kill people in the process, but the goal is to try and save somebody or some people.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the idea, and they get the really fancy toys.
They get some cool stuff.
If you guys know me, you know I like the high tech fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Pass it over to you, Dan. All right, Isaiah.
I would either do FBI HRT, which is their hostage rescue teams.
Okay.
Those they're from how you get selected essentially is you have to be a special forces member beforehand.
Oh wow.
And then you join that. They're like the SEALs, but they operate within the United States.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
Either that or the SWCC.
They're like SWAT guys on steroids, basically.
Yeah, essentially. The SWCC, which is the
SWCC?
Yeah, the SWCC.
SWCC. That should have been my answer. Damn it.
They're like the 911 for Navy SEALs on the water. They operate on boats and they rescue SEAls if they need to. They have a lot of firepower on those boats.
Yeah, those are like the boats. If anyone has ever seen, what is it? Something Valor.
Act of Valor.
Act of Valor.
Where they come in with the gunboats.
Yeah, the gunboats with like 3 miniguns.
Have you ever seen a hot extract of one of those?
Yeah, it's crazy.
They literally dip a helicopter into the water and drive a fucking boat into the helicopter.
Yeah,
it's amazing. What?
United States Special Forces are so cool.
It's so bad.
It's so cool. We have such a cool.
All right.
You got them yet?
Okay, 2. I'm thinking. I don't know. I kind of like the thought of the German KSK. They're very clandestine. Up until recently, no one really. The government didn't even know what they were doing, and there was a lot of cases of reported incidents. And when they were trying to find files, they accidentally burned, they went missing. And so it's just kind of that much of a clandestine operation. No one, even the government that you're defending, now there's more transparency, but it's kind of cool to be like, I don't know, that's hardcore. And then I don't know, probably
You couldn't
Delta.
have just one choice.
I think I might go with that. And then if
All right.
anything else, Delta, because they just roll.
Well, technically, Delta doesn't exist.
And that's also cool is that they don't exist. Then they're
I mean,
hardcore.
that's what my uncle, who has worked in the Navy or the military White House office, you know, I always would bring up like, oh yeah, well Delta Force sounds cool, and he'll always be like, well, Delta Force doesn't exist.
But
And I'm like, what do you mean? And he would say, well, the United States government has
Yeah.
never officially said that the Delta Force has completed an objective. Like
Yeah.
they've just said it was completed by a special forces.
Delta
unit.
Force-
I mean, to be fair, they could just really suck and have never
Yeah.
completed them.
Yeah,
No, I
but
don't.
Delta Force, they're the first guys that are
They could just be speed
allegedly
software, so they'll go after the objective.
allegedly they're the first guys that'll react to anything. They're the first guys in.
SFS Special Force Speed Software.
Oh God.
All right. But with that, we're actually a little bit over time, so I think we're going to wrap it up.
It was a
Thank you.
thought-provoking question.
All right, yeah. Thank you very much, guys, for listening. Hopefully, me and Isaiah will see a lot of you guys at Spring Offensive this coming weekend, and these guys will see you here if you're gaming
See
at
you here at
Extreme.
Extreme.
Which means you're a plebe.
But yeah, like I said, once again, thank you for tuning in. Tune in for our Thursday video, which will you be going over on Thursday?
Well, I'll actually be looking at the ASG
Oh,
brand.
we're giving
I've heard
ASG
of
all
it.
the love, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
ASG brands. They've been out for maybe a year or so, but
No,
we need
less
it
than
needs
that.
a-
Maybe 6
less than
months.
that?
Yeah, less than
Yeah.
that.
It needs
They're
a.
pretty cool.
We're gonna freshen it up for y'all. You
Yeah.
guys are gonna love it.
But yeah, tune in for that. It'll be Thursday about 3 to 4 p.m., hopefully. And we'll be doing an AAR of Spring Offensive next week, as well as some other random stuff like we always do. So yeah, tune in then. Once again, thank you for tuning in today. We just have a great time doing this.
Thank you, guys.
And
We love you.
we'll see you guys soon enough.
It's like Patrick.
See,
I love you.